Hey guys, it's me again. I think I'm right this time. Let me see. Hold on. I think we're right, guys. So I got 5 more members. You can see I was working on the painting before this, and I went to get on, and it was all messed up. Oh, you know what it is? I was looking in the wrong places at photos you look through. I was trying to see all the work you guys had done. Anyways, yeah, so now I got it. Anyways, guys, so the winners are going to be, I gotta pull names. I'm waiting till a few people get on here. Am I on? Ah, there I am. So I'm gonna pull names as soon as a few you get on here, but I picked out Lori and Tammy. Lori because she did the Busty Bunny and that cute one with the tulips, which I thought was great. And then the watercolor bunny I thought was really good too, which is, what I wanted, very similar to, just you didn't do the busted part, but I thought you had a lot of great stuff in it. It wasn't just that, there was quite a few things. So I am going to give you the winners for the monthly challenge, and nobody did the envelope, so I can't give that one out. And as soon as you people get on here, I'm going to cut these names up. There's Nilda, Laura, Kathy, Cindy, and Tammy. So in the meantime, let me put this up there and hope nothing goes wrong. It's been pouring cats and dogs. Yesterday it rained a little bit, but it was cold, so now it's cold and rainy. So I did get a few more things done in the garden. But today I had a lot of things to do, like I had to repot a few things. And remember I told you I bought those 10 things I want to paint? Now I don't know if I want to paint them. But I thought, I'm not going to be, I got to nail through the bottom so they got drainage. It means I got more pots. So I was all happy about that. So I cleaned up my palette. I got some paint on there from the painting I'm still doing. So we're going to get this thing started. I got a 12 by 14 canvas. We'll pull names in a minute. And we're doing this guy right here, but I think it's a PPH cube. Probably Heidi. It looks like a Heidi. So just something easy and fun to do today. And I did get my stencil for the 4th of July. I think we're going to do that next week. But I also got my girl, if you guys remember my hippie girl with the red and white hat, she's 4th of July. I'll post her on here. We're going to do her. And probably both those probably before Mother's Day. And I'm in the process of designing, I think, some sunflowers and a girl in a straw hat for my group, our membership people. So I did the background in 12 by 14 canvas in Bahama Blue. Let that dry. And then I'm going to do my tracer. Hey, Joellen, how you doing, girl? So I had a little problem getting the other one started off there. Oh, wait. This is a real good one. Where'd I put them on? I got a whole bunch of them. Things are getting messed up again. I never really did clean real good last week, so stencils all over the place. Like I said, I got that star one we're going to do on the wood circle, but I want something to put around it. I don't know, something shiny. I was wondering if they'd have at the Dollar Tree, if they would have like garland, but red, white, and blue maybe, and glue it on instead of just like a ribbon. But, make it kind of noticeable. It's only going to be like up for 3 or 4 days because, well, I don't know. If I get it done by next week, it'll be up a couple weeks, right? All right, guys, I'm not finding any of my... I got a brand new one. Here's this one. It's an old one. I have a brand new set somewhere here. I don't know. So this is actually smaller. Turn this around. This is actually 8 by 10. This is copy paper. So I didn't make a big tracer or nothing. So, see, I can blow them up and then make them bigger if I want to, but it takes a lot of room on here. I think a lot of people are comfortable doing the smaller sizes. And I do the big ones usually in my group. Let's see if I can move this on there. So I just thought he was kind of springtime with this, this is, I think, is a new one because I haven't seen this one with the birdhouse, the flowers, and the tulips. I thought this is kind of spring, right? Yeah. So let me get my pencil. Now make sure this is dry or this will not go on. I'm hoping this isn't too old, because sometimes I've got some that lasted forever, and I think it must be a different type I got. This doesn't want of ink. Oh, it's all right. As long as I can see it. I was busy with that other painting. It'd been bothering me. So I because I soaked the paper. So I re-downloaded the thing. It wasn't really like I wanted to do exactly, but I wanted to pick up where the light was coming in that one corner. So I redid it. Some of the flowers, but I still might do a wash, because you know what a wash is? These are things we learned in the membership. Although now we're doing more like tracer-like stuff. That's what they wanted. So, but I still occasionally, you know, I'm working on the YouTube stuff, so I plan on doing some stuff like that over there in the group, paid group. Which, if anybody's interested, I can still sign people on. I just haven't gotten around to it. This YouTube thing. I've only been at it like once a week. I go on there. It takes a good morning. And I am not done. I put a whole bunch more on there if you guys are going to work. I think there's 2 or 3 more public. There's some that'll probably go public. It's just that I just throw them in there. It's a long story how they do it. They don't put any they don't put them in order like they are in my groups. There's no order to it. There's no guide 1 or guide nothing. So I kind of got to figure out on my own, which was a good hour, just because I had to kind of read my memory about what I did. So then I hadn't done the ones in the last couple of weeks, which is like 6. And one I decided not to keep, and then because I've done those paintings before, and then I could get busy on those first. I got those in, and I went through with some of them, and I unlisted them, made it public, and put on there what they were. But now then there was 5, I think I did. So then I can only do 15. So then I went back. I couldn't figure out where I started from the last time, because there was a lot of videos in there. So in the meantime, I don't know if I got all of them. My big thing, which is making sure, which I got, all the ones from the paid membership, which is another whole story about how I'm going to have to do it for them. So anyways, so I mean, that's like a whole day right there. I mean, just, you know, it takes like an hour and a half to download everything, but it's just figuring everything out. And I write it down so I keep track of what I did and what I didn't do. And then they have a video thing. It's for, so I'm learning how to use a YouTube, which I can do the basics, but I want to do a little bit more. They kind of do what we do here, very similar. I just don't know how to hook up like this. I know how to, I don't know if you can flip. I gotta figure out if you can flip around, you know, so that you can watch me do. I mean, it's gotta be able to do it, because I see other people on there doing videos. So I'm not sure. I'm still working on it. But, you know, I have life going on here too. So I don't know what we're doing for Mother's Day, which is, I didn't even realize it was so close. My mother's birthday is tomorrow, and my sister's running a big run here in the city, Mountain Goat. So I don't know if she's doing anything. Usually I go over to her grave, maybe take some flowers over. We split flowers, put flowers in every year. I don't know if I did it last year, but I remember that we usually do it every year. So I think, you know, I was so out of it, cancer and stuff. So but it's pouring out. It's cats and dogs all weekend. I'm like, crap. Yeah, I got my boxes cleaned out, and like I said, I got a few things done outside. And I actually mowed, it took me a whole day to recuperate. Mowed the other day. So I'm just like going through and just doing what I do. This is how you're going to do it if anybody's never done one of these. You download this. It's called a tracer. It's basically like a template. And you do that through your, just download it to your, usually to your photos. And then from your photos, I don't know how you do yours, but on mine, I just take my photos and I have it hooked into my HP computer through my Wi-Fi. Now, other people do it different ways, and I just send it over to HP, and they download it on my phone, and then I just see what I want to do with it, where I want to send it, and usually download it and make a copy. And sometimes I get turned into a PDF or so that you can use it. Well, usually a PDF only if I designed it, so this is a little more complicated, but so that's it basically. So now we got that down on the paper, and we're gonna pick out some colors. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do some of my little flowers here, like in pink and red and stuff too. So kind of like spring colors. You get this little bird, maybe we'll do a little bird in blue. I don't know. I got a nice blue background, so I want to do. I think I'm gonna kind of bring it up a little bit later. Yeah, this kind of goes up here, so we're going to kind of fill that in. Yeah, kind of cuts up, so we're going to add these flowers and these tulips just like this. Maybe do a couple more leaves, like that. Bring it down to the bottom. You can do whatever you want. I encourage you to do your own thing. Absolutely. So I kind of want to do these flowers first. Let's do them, because I got a lot of those kind of colors out right now. And I'm going to get a small round brush here, like this. And I'm going to come in, let's do some of these leaves. I got this green and yellow I'm going to mix up here. Yes, I was working on that painting a little bit, and I had a big thing of bean soup. I don't know why I made such a big batch. I had just a little bowl for lunch, and I put the rest is on the counter cool in 2 big freezer bags. I might take a bag over to my father. So I'm just going to do this in green. Then I'm going to kind of highlight with some white maybe, or maybe yellow. But I just mixed this blue, which is a mermaid tail blue. It's a bluish green. And then a regular that's cadmium yellow, I believe. Yeah. Just to mix the blue and the green together. Bluish green and green. Any kind of green. Just because I like a little dimension here. I like different shades. I'm just going to do these first, because I got to fill this bottom in. So I'll do this first. And then I'll add the flowers. I can make some grass here too. I don't have to just like do all these. But I want to right now. So we're just going to fill these out. Oops. A little yellow. It was nice yesterday. I got a few things done. Actually wore shorts. I ain't got no socks on, and I ain't got no turtleneck on. It is officially spring. I wear them all winter long. I can't get warm without a turtleneck and a pair of socks. I wear the men's crew socks. They're heavy because I get cold. See, I'm just kind of adding some yellow and green, and if you guys get this so you can see it, let me move this over this way. Take a sip of my tea. I'm going to make grass over this, but right now I'm just going to fill this in, the bigger pieces first. I'll make it easier. Anybody else on yet? Let me see. I can see you're on here, Joe. Let's see. Well, the sound ain't on, which is usual. Oh, there you go. There's the sound. Found it. Anybody else on yet? Let me see. All right. Come on. Come. Hey. Yeah, as soon as I touch this thing, now all your comments, I'm only showing one comment, Joe. You're the only one on right this minute. Okay, rainy and chilly here. How now, brown cow? What's up, Doc? Jack and Jill went up the hill. So I seen all your comments. Up here, I'm only seeing the one comment. There might be somebody else on, but I don't know sometimes because funny things happen. They'll say, oh, I was on. It's like, you were. Most of the time, stuff comes on here, but not all the time. It was like buffering on me. It was on here already. I was like, oh. I'm just kind of making some little pieces here, different colors. There's like one right here too. That's like he's behind it, so we'll make him a little darker. One over here. We'll do this one a little darker too. I'm going to go over this to make some grass. Like I said, yellow and green on this one. I'll make them all little, just little variations so they're not the same. I mean, you can do them the same. Do what you want. Yeah, I can hear the thunder and lightning. I heard it last night too. Yeah, sometimes we have not too far from the train tracks here. It's Syracuse, called the City of Trains. You literally like, you get so used to it, you don't even hear them, but they're usually off in the distance. They're not like real close or anything. So there's a green one here too, but I'm gonna do these pink ones first. I got this carousel pink. Let's make ourselves a pink tulip, just like this. Oh, so the blue's kind of coming through, so I'm gonna mix a little white in it. White and pink. Sometimes if things are see-through, you got to add a little white, because then you let it dry and you can come back and this even though I painted it, it's still absorbing a lot of paint. This sometimes this is just a cheaper canvas, so Dollar Tree, I believe. Yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of do some darks and lights, and then you can see that little line that's right there. I can come back and highlight that after. I kind of leave little sections out. See how I do that? Let's make them all pink. Heck with it. I love pink. Love pink. Wait a few minutes, see if everybody's going to jump on. I usually do. And then I'll pull those names. I'm just trying to differentiate this. I added some white to the pink, but I was trying to make sure there's some little colors that kind of, could add another different pink if you wanted to. Just so it kind of fills it in, but leaves a little line there. Kind of do a, yeah, so my garden's starting to look like Diana's garden. Little crafty. Oh, I think I was one of the first ones to mow other than the park management. They come and they do their thing to mow, and all of a sudden everybody's mowing. I mean, I look like hell. I hated mowing, and my husband always did it. I had more garden than I had to mow, so I didn't have to worry about it. I mean, that's how much garden I had. Every section, I had sections, you know, front, side, you know. Anyways, wasn't a big yard, just a lot of garden. So now, so I did do it. I usually hire somebody, but I don't know, they didn't want to come over yet, I guess. So I did most of it on the one side by myself. I did first one day with the thing, and then another day. Now I still got more to do, but it rained, so I ain't gonna do it. But then I like seeing people across the street, they were planting something. Last year he put squash in, which was fun. And they don't do like a garden. I think they just put the squash in the looks of it. I'm just kind of, this is only one coat. I'm going to go back over it. There's going to be more in here. Just let me just kind of get this base in. I'm kind of highlighting as I go. You don't have to do that either. Just something I do all the time. I don't know why. I just do it. Normally it's dark to light, so you want to put the dark color and then come over light. But I like to keep everything separated. I like to keep these lines here because I'm going to go back and let's see if I can, so you guys can see all of me. So I can go back. Do them all pink. This pink looks good with this blue. Yeah, I love pink and blue together. I like color, but I do like pink and blue together. So I got a lot of like inside stuff done today. Broke up some boxes and worked a little bit more on my YouTube and planted a couple more seeds. Some of the stuff it didn't take, I just dumped, just mixed it in with the other stuff, the dirt. and repotted some things. I had to put holes in the bottom of, you know, the cans that I painted. I forgot, evidently in the ones, like, oh. So I had those other tins there thinking I was going to have to get the drill out. Well, so let me just try it. Well, it worked, and it wasn't hard, so I was like, okay. Then I messed around, fixed my door yesterday. Well, I didn't fix it. I almost fixed it. I finally called the Lowe's, and they gave it's Larson doors, and they gave me the number. I had to take pictures of it and this and that, but they were pretty nice, and they are going to give me free parts. But they said the instructions are pretty easy, and I can call them back. Well, you know, that's the most cooperation I've ever had with any of those kind of places in a while. And actually, even Lowe's is pretty good. But I was just out of my warranty time, so. Which I was surprised there was a year, because sometimes they don't, you know, do much anything. But Larson's, most of the parts on that door are 10 years, so I was pretty happy. I'm going to have my grandson help me. It's like the pin on the side. I think it happened when it was bad this year. My brother, who has a garage, I went out and got my bumper sticker from him, inspection sticker earlier this week. And he was like, oh, and I went into where he usually does his inspections. I'm like, what happened? It looks all new. He goes, my roof caved in. He says, I just couldn't keep up with the snow. It's a huge place, huge garage. Like a wrecking business. His home's behind it. Huge piece of property. So he was like, I could not keep up. He says, there was a tin one on here. He goes, yeah, but it was just too much snow. We had a lot of snow. And they had more because they're way up closer to the lake up there, you know. It looks better, but I'm sure it costs him a fortune. He's been talking about how he's going to retire and what it's going to cost him and how he's going to do it. I said, oh, yeah, you're at that age now. Yeah. We all get there, don't we? Can't believe my baby brother's going to be 65. My other brother, I think, is 66. He'll be 66. He's a year younger than me. And we had another brother that died. He would have been I'm sure he would have been close to 60 now. I'd have to think about it. When he was 37, he died of cancer, of course, right? All right, so now I'm kind of go through and I'm taking the white. And I'm going into those lines and kind of highlighting. See what I'm doing while they're still wet, and I kind of blend back. I shade in. See what I did? You can take like a little darker color right on the sides. You put the darker color in, then blend up into it. See what I did? You can come in here and just make this a darker. And then right on where these edges are, you can kind of put some white in there and then just blend out into the petal. And you still got those different shades. Same thing here. Pick up some more pink. Just kind of blend it all in. I can put a light on this side. Blend it all in. A little pink. You guys ever had quail eggs? My daughter, we have several Oriental grocery stores here, and I go in with her once in a while. And I wanted some bok choy and some different things. I need some soy sauce, whatever. That's all they sell. I don't even speak English, so I tried these quail eggs, canned, not fresh. She gets them fresh once in a while. I didn't know that. So they sell everything, and they get the fresh produce. And there's a big one. This is the small one. I like the small one better, but anyways, they've been sitting there for a couple of months. I've had them. And I had them with my lunch today with my salad. Oh my God, guys, they're freaking good. Canned, too. It'd be a nice little storage thing. They're not cheap, though, so I don't know what we pay. I think she bought them for me because I was like, I don't want to spend that kind of money. But on Amazon, it's like $18 for 3. But if I get a good deal on them, I think I would stack up on them. They're really good. Of course, eggs are expensive now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. See what I did? Everything's expensive now. Say it's gonna get worse. I don't know. I stocked up on some canned goods. I told you guys last week, so we will see. Still waiting for see if anybody comes on. I want to pull these names. Yeah. So get in here early. Everybody's thinking, what is she doing? Why is she on so early? I usually, like, sometimes I'll put that, I get that one sign that says, on live, and then people come over. I should do it. I started it. I never did it. It's called, Remind. I just give them your email or your telephone number. I don't know which one. I don't know what, if that's even as something like that. And what happens is they send a reminder out for me, but you got to get your name in there. If your name in there, it's not going to do it. But I'd still have to do all the other stuff, you know. So I'm just kind of coming in here with the pink, and then I fell up around the edges with the white. See what I'm doing? And then I blend out back into that wet pink. I know I make this look easy, but like I said, I've been doing this forever. I don't know if I really got all that brilliant at it, but I've been doing it for a while. Yeah. I kind of give that little squiggle there. Kind of makes it look a little more real, don't it? More pink. Blend it in. All right. Now there's still some like green. I'm gonna do the green yellow. There's some. I'll wet my brush some more. Right here, there's like a little stem. There's like a thing right here. There's like one right here. One right here. If you make these slightly different colors, it kind of makes them just add more yellow or add less yellow, and that kind of makes everything look like it's not mushed together too much. A little darker area right here. Now, when this dries, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add like some grass right here. And that'll fill that in nicely. So we got the flowers done. And the grass will cover some of this up. All right, that looks pretty. I don't need nothing else done. All right, so now let's go right up to the hat. So I think yellow and white would be really pretty summer colors, don't you think? So let's go through and do the white first, as they'll get mushed into the yellow. And I can make some highlights with the yellow. And I'm going to go through with, I probably need a bigger brush here to make my life a little bit simpler. Just a little bit bigger brush. Maybe either a bigger round or some kind of flat. Oh God, look what I did with this brush. I have to wash it to put it in water. Sometimes I put them into the things backwards, wet. You know what I mean? I put it in the wrong bucket. That's what I do. Sometimes I put it in the wrong bucket. So this is kind of a small flat. No, I can't use that one. That's a watercolor brush. Nice watercolor. What do I want? Nothing too big. Let's see. So now, like I said, I think next week we're going to do mostly Memorial Day kind of stuff. Get ready for the holiday. Here's one. Here's like a kind of a, what they call a filbert. It's kind of a round. It's kind of a flat with rounded edges. That's what a filbert is. I'm going to go in with the white and kind of come in here and do the, see, I get a little more coverage and I don't get so many lines. When you want something smoother, you need to use something a little bigger. I mean, you can have all those little lines and come back and smooth it out with the paint, but that's just more work, isn't it? Now, there needs to be a shadow underneath here, but because it's going to blend into this. But I'm just going to, oop, I don't want that one. That's going to be yellow. Although, yeah, well, I'm going to mix this with yellow, though. Every other one's going to be white. Just going to slap it on right now. I think he's going to be cute. This is going to be cute, guys. This is going to be cute. Nice summer painting. Cute. Or spring, should I say, spring painting. See, I followed the direction, the paintbrush, I got it going. in the direction of the subject. So see these little ripples that I'm making? These are very cool because it's supposed to be a hat. And you can make it more perfect, but I kind of like these little, you know, ripply marks here. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the yellow. Probably have to add a little white to that yellow because, like I said, it's not absorbing this paint right, which happens. Board canvas is famous for this anyways. I've ordered the board off Amazon and different ones. It's just kind of goes with the territory. This is kind of the first layer. I always say a couple layers at least. On most paintings, I say 3. You're going to do 3 layers of our paint. Very rarely, unless you're doing like a really thick, and this is not expensive paint, like something in Pasto, really thick paint, you're going to use less paint. But usually this kind of paint on the board, they're going to use a little bit more in layers. Yeah, you're going to do 2, at least 2, probably 3. Most of my paintings, I do at least 3. Like the last layer would be your highlights. Like the first layer would be what I call blocking in. And the second layer, you're kind of just going over everything that needs color, needs a little more texture or shape or blending. And then the last layer is your detailing. I kind of combine both, but that's basically what you're going to be doing. See, and I'm kind of going through here. And I got the white. There's a little yellow on this brush, but that kind of is cool too. I can come back in a minute. Detail. I'm going to put some blue in there to separate that again. See how I still don't, I leave a little bit of a line here because I can go back and adjust so I can keep these separated. Yeah, I need to start doing something with it. I either got to sell some, maybe I'll join some competitions. I don't know, I haven't made up my mind what I want to do. Every now and then, you know what happens with me. I get motivated and I will join something. Just when the mood strikes me, I'm that kind of girl, you know. Well, you know, I'm kind of semi-retired here, so, yeah. Yeah, a lot of medical problems last year, and then, you know, life happens. The place I was selling stuff, they closed, though. That wasn't my fault. I thought they would reopen, but they ended up, there was a girl, oh my God, she's called the Curd Nerd. Sells the best cheese. I was there when she opened up. She had a big party, and we were all the artists were over there, and my God, so good. Anyways, long story short, I kind of need to separate that. She ended up taking it, so she turned it into like a cheese restaurant. The only one I ever heard of like that, but oh my God, so good. She does like rotisserie board classes, all kinds of interesting things. She's really clever. But they didn't open it back up. So there is other places that do that. And I know I could probably definitely get into one. And the other one, I think you got to show your artwork, which is fine. I just haven't done it. And I like the one only because there's not a lot of walking involved. Because I don't want to walk anymore than I have to, you know? So I'm going to kind of separate these two, like with this blue here. So Diana's just got to get to it. And I haven't been doing the parties at all, so I've turned a few people down. So I was sick last year, and then I just trying to get myself settled into this house. There's a lot of changes, you know. This year, just a lot of changes, you know. So now, what do I want to do? I go volunteer, go up and work the rose garden or something. Anybody can go on Wednesdays, anybody. They'll take anybody. They just need help so bad. I've done it. All right, so now I got his little hat going here. It looks like he's still a little see-through, so we might have to go back and still mess with him. So I'm going to take that pink and some white and make his flesh tone. I'm going back to this small brush again. A little white. And I'm going to make come in here. I'm going to make his nose a little pinker so I can do this like a little more white. A little not so light pink. So I want to make his nose pink too. Be a pretty painting. All these nice spring colors. I think I got the wrong brush, but that's okay. This was from earlier. The wrong brush out. So now I can make the nose like a little pinker. Not as pink as this, though, somewhere in between. Let's add a little bit of like an orange color to it, and I'll get more of a fleshy tone. Yeah, there you go. Shoot. I did the pink and like a pink, and then this orange color, which is it's something melon. It's like a light orange and white. You see that picture that was on here, guys? That I had to go through and get something for my granddaughter out of my box of stuff with my husband's, and that was in his wallet. Is really small, so I think that was on my hairdressing license. I remember I had no pictures of myself, and that is a picture from a photo booth, and they had a photo booth. It was like $1. She said, well, Diane, you got to have it on there. It's the law. Because that's when they used to actually go around and inspect the shops. They don't do it anymore. No money. And hasn't been for years. So I went down there and took my picture. Well, that's one of the few pictures I got of myself young, except when my wedding pictures and like baby showers and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So that's where that came from. So I put it on my editor, and I blew it up larger. And then I took a few of the dings and picks out of it, but it looks all right. So look how dark that hair was, right? Woo! That's some dark hair. And that was Lucky Copper. They don't make it anymore. It was Rube. Rube was the name of the company. I don't think it exists anymore. So, young. Oh, and you know I thought I was fat. Oh my God, what did we know? What did we know? I thought I was so fat. I was so self-conscious, so unsure of myself. Weren't we all, though? So there it is, a little pinker than the rest of it. I kind of put a little pink in this while it's wet. So it kind of blends a little bit. Bring it right up to that hat. Put a little bit of a highlight on his nose would be cool. I always do that. There you go. Now, I'm going to move this back so you can see this. I don't want to go over that bird, but I'm going to go around it. So I'm going to take some white and maybe add a little brown to it, because I think that'll look good with the yellow. Let's do some white, a little bit of yellow, and some white. So we get like a tan color beard. He's kind of going to be a blonde. There you go. It's that yellow, this chocolate brown, and white. So he's going to be kind of a blonde. We're going to give him some highlights. Like I said, I follow the shape, so you see when I do the brush and white, I kind of just follow the shape. It's a little bit easier with the brush strokes, and I just follow what's here. I think this is his shirt. I think it go right here. That's his shirt right there. That's okay. I can go back, fix it. I'll add a little bit of brown. Yeah, I think I'm getting cold in here. Oh man, this room's been so hot. I was gonna have her crack the window. I don't put the air in yet. I don't know. Now I'm debating because she's making me feel bad because she has to put it in and take it out. I mean, I don't know how to do it. I know there's ways you can do it. Let's hire somebody to come and make it permanent. But I'm thinking maybe you ought to think about central air. Just to make her life easier. I don't particularly like it because it gets too cold. But I can change the settings. I don't know if it's more expensive. I always thought it was, but I don't know. Maybe not. So they've been on me about adding it. I know the guy that does it, so I get a deal. He would have done it right when I moved in, but I just, oh no, I got my own air conditioner. So not thinking that she's not her, my grandson are not gonna like taking turns, you know. Yeah. So I can barely lift anything, let alone do that. So, thinking I might get some central air here. I prefer just opening the windows and just being hot, tell you the truth. But we did that, didn't we, back in the day? People didn't, not everybody had a bunch. We did have air conditioning until, I think, until I got married. Yep. And we had fans. A little more brown in here. We had fans and stuff. I'm trying to avoid this bird here. I want the strokes here for the... That's what we did. I remember being hot, though. I do remember that. We drank a lot of Kool-Aid. That was a big treat. As some people, you know what a big treat at my house was when we were kids? My mother would make vats of popcorn with Kool-Aid. And we just thought, oh, we got Kool-Aid, so we drank water. Everybody drank water. It wasn't like a big thing, like you were poor or something. You just drank water. Now you can't get water into people unless it's in a bottle. You know, it's like, you know, you can drink water. I'm not a big water fan myself, but I do drink it. Especially now that I gotta lose some weight. I lost some more weight, guys. I'm so proud of myself. It's really hard. You know, you go through these binges where you just want to eat, you know. But a lot of it had to do with, you know, depression and just taking care of my life and not worrying about my weight. I just had things to do and places to go. Husband to take care of stuff. You know. I had quit smoking years ago, so I never learned how to, like, adjust my eating. And I also worked my salon and another job and ran my husband all over. So I was busy 24/7, non-stop. So the weight just didn't pack on until COVID. I mean, even after I quit smoking, I put some weight on, but not a lot. But I was so busy all the time that I didn't have to worry about, I mean, I got heavier as I got older, there's no doubt about it. I always thought I was fat, so it don't matter. So my daughter's like, you weren't that fat. Well, I was, you know, over 200. You know, I'm 5'7". And all of a sudden it just started coming out, but I didn't care anymore. And I wasn't busy. We closed the business. I closed my salon. And then my husband, you know, we found out right before COVID that he had cancer. So I ran him all over for years, though, because his eyes were so bad. In fact, he was really scared about getting another surgery. It was high risk, and he said, well, we're not going to do it unless he's on a lot of drugs. He's on a lot of drugs for his eyes mostly, and keep him seeing. He wasn't seeing a lot. And they said, well, we got to do a CAT scan. They did a CAT scan. That's when they found it. Anyways, long story short, so then, I was just taking classes all the time so I could do this online, because the online's different from doing painting with a twist. And I wanted to be able to, advertise and, do all the things to run a business, because it's, not like hairdressing at all. So I did everything I was supposed to do, but the weight was coming on. So I was not home except to take him to work. He worked weekends. We both worked service-related jobs, so we worked all weekend. So, sometimes he could get a call bus because he was disabled and stuff, or it was on a central bus, but he took a bus. So now I'm adding brown. I'm adding some brown in here too. So, then I worked painting with a twist, usually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, usually 3 days at night after work. So I had cut my hours down to 3 days anyways, because they were dying off. And then with the COVID, forget it. And they had all these rules, and I had to wait an hour in between, and they were all, God, so slow. Oh, my God. And then he was really sick with the cancer. And I'm like, these people, I had a couple of them I loved, and one of them was a gay girl. She'd come and give me hugs. I don't care. And the other one, I don't care. The old ones, I don't care about that. I'm giving you a hug. I haven't seen you in a couple months. We had to close it down completely. And here I'm like, you guys, you can't touch me. And all these things they were supposed to do, they didn't do them. They just did whatever they wanted to do. So I said, that's it. And a lot of them couldn't even, the kids wouldn't let them out of the house anyway. So it wasn't like, it wasn't a good thing. So I said, something, I had a few of them die. says, you know something? I'm just going to close shop. I found some place for everybody to go, or found someone, figured it out. Then he had to close his business, so I went over there, helped him on one of the last days to get some of the stuff gathered up. And then I bought a whole bunch of easels and a bunch of paint. And so now I'm home. So I started taking online classes and, you know, so I'm not moving. I was gone Wednesday through Sunday. So, you know, depending on what was going on. So I was really started packing the weight on somewhere around then. You know, he wasn't keeping any weight on anyway, so that's how it happened. Yeah, life, just life. And you eat out more because sometimes we just had so much trips at the hospital all the time. And we stayed home, ate most of the time, though. Put a little pink here and kind of blend that in. So that's how I ended up, like, packing this weight on, because I just was not as active as I used to be. And then after he died, you know, I didn't care. Really didn't care. So now I got to lose it all again. I lost some more, though. Very happy. Feeling a lot better. Alright, so he's looking better, huh? I got him all done. His nose is looking cute now. Who's on here? I know the last couple of classes, everybody's busy. This is the time of year everybody's busy. Do not gardening, they got baby showers, bridal showers. Because when I was working painting with a twist, we were busy like all winter. Once school let in, people were looking for things to do because it's cold. But when the summer came, the only thing we got was like mostly outside parties, like bridal showers and that kind of stuff, because people they want to be outside. They don't want to be in here watching me paint, you know. Some people watching their phone though. So, yeah. But then, like I said, in my one business group, just put a highlight on this. They talk about how people watch rewatches. Everybody's got different hours. I used to do this at 1 o'clock, but I get less people. I get more people, because I asked you guys which one. I get more people in the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock. Let me just put some highlights on this. Isn't he cute? This is a Sally can jump to. So, you know, that's what happens. Life happens, right? Just put a little bit of white in here on top of this brown. Just to make him look like he's... But I forgot how dark my hair was. I think I had the darkest hair in the family. From that picture, I was like, oh God, I guess I did. I remember, like, my art teacher, my hairdressing teacher was like, she met my mother. She's like, you're going to be a redhead. I always, like, she said, just wear a little lipstick, because I always look so, like, my father didn't want me to wear makeup, but I did it anyways. You know, so pale. I mean, I get a little color, though, because I'm not really, like, redhead, so I can tan. If I'm slow about it, I can. And, oh my God, I used to be, like, so white. And then that dark black hair. I always look like I was sick. They died, you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. I always look like this. I always look washed out. So thank God for makeup and hair color. Make this a little rounder, I think. All right. So we got my little bird here, and there's like a shirt here. So I'm going to do this shirt. Probably a dark blue. Let's do a dark blue. A blue. So, yeah. That's how dark my hair was. And I had Lucky Copper on it. It's like a really dark red brown. I used that color for like forever. It's the only reason I remember. I don't remember it being that dark, but I guess it was. So yeah, I found that picture. Evidently, my granddaughter's getting a tattoo. And my husband always told her the best people were born the 17th, because they were both born the 17th. She's never forgot it. So she wanted his signature so she can get it tattooed with her signature. She's going to have that put on her body, I guess. Not my thing, but that's what she's going to do. So, okay. So I found one. That's something of his, and Send it on over. Loved her grandpa. Missed her grandpa. Well, really, they've only been the only two grandchildren I've had, her and her brother. And then my other daughter in New York, she had one who's just turned 8. So that's the only 3 I got. So we're really close to those two because, you know, she got divorced, lived with us for a while. So, you know, then she didn't live too far, you know, so she got married. They lived on a farm later. Isn't that cute? He's looking really cute, if I do say so myself. So what are we going to do with this barn over here? I kind of want to do, let's do something to the background up here. Because I can still see some of my, the other picture in there. So I'm going to mix some white in that light blue. And maybe just a tad of that dark. There's like a little violet in that dark color. Add a lot of white. A little touch of that light blue. We're going to make a few clouds, I think. Just something to kind of fill this in a little bit. Oh, that's too light. Let's add some more of that dark, this color blue. We'll just kind of smush up some little clouds up in here. There. Just kind of, I use the side of my brush. You see what I'm doing when I make clouds? Just how I do it. And some blue. Some of that blue. Alright, I kind of wipe that off. I'll go back with that blue. What do I get here? Yeah, so then I look and there, he had a couple different walls. I don't know, I know some of those pictures, I put them together, were from another wall that he had. And I'm just going to fill this in a little bit. So I wasn't sure which wall it was in there. You know, what he had in there. So I'm looking through there. He had a lot of pictures in there, which I remember that he had pictures in there. I mean, I knew he did. And that was in there. And there was like a couple of my daughter that I hadn't seen in a while either. Because my daughter, after we closed the house up, took a lot of stuff up to her loft. So I'm not even sure what she has. So I don't know. I know there's some of my pictures missing. I said, no, don't bother because there's really not enough room here. But there's a couple that I wanted she'll bring back, you know. But, you know, there's so much stuff in my house there was too much. You know, you live somewhere for 30 years. I know people that live places 50 years. I couldn't imagine, you know. So I'm just kind of giving this little interesting background here. Just kind of doing some clouds, a little more of that, the light blue and the dark blue. Just kind of do your own thing, kind of mix it up. I feel like he needs a tassel here, don't you? I feel like he needs something. Maybe a butterfly. Wouldn't a butterfly be cool hanging off the end of this? Something. Maybe a ladybug. Ooh, a ladybug would be cool. Just want some little clouds in here. Then I can just do this other blue right down in here. Just do that. I need more blue. I didn't put enough on there. Didn't put enough on there on my palette, so I do it again. This is not a shadow. I'm looking up at the picture. It looks like a shadow. It's actually just, it's going to be a birdhouse right there. You guys, they're just coming in. It's a birdhouse. Okay, I can't get this bottle open to save my life. It's clogged. Hold on, I gotta find something unclogged. This bear doesn't want to open up, so I gotta unclog it. Palette knife works, a pointy one, if I can find a pointy one. Let's see what I got. Oops. Just bent the tip. Oh, I gotta bend my tip back. Hold on. Alright. There we go. Okay, I think I got a paint booger in there. You guys know what a paint booger is? So irritating. this is going to be a birdhouse right here. I just wanted to get this blue background in a little bit. This is something right here. I got to get it off. This is going to be a cute one. So get the bigger brush, get this big flat brush. I'm kind of just filling in this background. A lot of fun painting that at the Painting with a Twist. We had a riot. Oh my God. Well, you know that we serve drinks there. I mean, we serve drinks. You can go in the refrigerator and you buy it. A little fridge with just a little Painting with a Twist, little half glasses of wine. And you could drink beer there, but by law you couldn't get liquor because it wasn't a bar. But after a few little things of that, sometimes I'd have one because I'd been working all day and oh God, everything hurt. And I was really, my legs were really starting to get bad. So I had my brass knee thing on, and then I had foot I broke, and I'd have a jelly plate thing on my foot so I could wear my Crocs, and then I would take a pain pill and a ibuprofen before class, and so I would get there, because if I had a really bad day at work, I was busy at work, I'd go do that, because I knew I was going to be transitioning from doing hair to that anyways. I've been doing art forever. He hired me right on the spot. He couldn't believe it. He was like, I never do this, but, you know, I did a painting for him. He's like, when can you start? You know, so I'm going to put this in a little bit of white here first. So that's how I end up with that job. I had been looking to buy a place, and he actually offered it to me at the end, but then COVID happened, so I was really contemplating how I was going to do it. And he had lost some business and stuff, but, you know, there was a lot of places that opened up, so, but I had a lot of ideas what I could do. And he was ready to retire, you know, Jamaican guy. He moved back, you know, he comes back and forth. His wife has a business here, too. So, long story short, I seen it on the internet that he was hiring. And I knew there was only 2 places here. I ran out there. I couldn't get out there fast enough. And that's how I ended up there. You know, I had just gotten into acrylic painting. I didn't know much about it because there's a painting I posted. It's going to be on there this week. That was my first acrylic painting. I had done flowers, and I had wanted to, I'm just following this painting. I had wanted to, I wanted something brighter, so I don't know. I don't know what kind of acrylic paints they were, but they were really bright, and I said, this is what I need. And I had just gotten into, a few years before that, well, probably a lot of years before that, where I had started doing the backgrounds in acrylic only because it takes so long for it to dry, and I want to paint. And I like to paint like Bob Ross. I use the wet on wet technique. So I luckily had some experience with that. I was still using a little bit too much water at first, but I learned. Water is your medium in oil painting. It's usually linseed oil or turpentine-based product. They use different things now, though. So it's just that tan, that brown and white, a little bit of that peach. I'm just doing the body of this. Then I'm going to take some white. So that's how I ended up, like, getting into, you know, doing this. So then, everything else that happened, I kept right on doing even when he was sick. And I did a few after he died. You know, it's been 3 years. I did quite a few after he died. And then my legs just started getting real bad. And then, you know, I got the cancer last year. And then the house got hit by that car. I mean, it just sounds like I'm whining. God, I am whining. A little bitter. So I ended up, you know, just saying, you know, I'm going to stick with the online thing for a while, because I was only doing like, I wasn't doing that many classes, so I'm kind of taking some brown, I'm going to make a little shadow right here, and I'm blending it into that wet paint. See what I'm doing? A little dark brown there. Right on the edge. I got a round brush, and I blend out, follow the shape. We're going to make this darker. Same thing on the top. Coming with the darker paint. While it's still wet, you're going to blend around. Gives a little bit of an antique look here too. I can go back, get some white, and kind of blend to that brown. That'll blend it right out into this, already painted section. Yeah, so you never know what life's going to give you, right? How things are going to work out. And we had been getting ready for quite a few years because we knew he was dying. So this is really depressing, but you have to talk about this stuff. So, I've been paying down bills. That's one of the reasons I kept those 2 jobs for a while, even though it was killing me. And I had my daughter did the attic, got it all cleaned out, and then we hired $1,500. My kids did, and I got the whole basement cleaned out, and I had windows put in, and just what I needed to have done. I didn't want to spend a fortune, so I was looking to get out of the house. Anyways, I knew it's a big house. I wouldn't be able to do it, So that's how I ended up like on this, because when the hot car went through the house, it was like, well, I had to like move all my stuff. I'm in the middle of my sister's living room. I says, well, I was going to quit. I said, you know something? I'm going to keep doing this. This is what I want to do right now. So, she set me up in the dining room, and I kept doing my classes. Crazy, right? I kept right on doing them. So let's kind of darken this edge up right here too. Yeah. That's when I started doing the watercolors right on her picnic table. I said, this is a good idea. I can go outside and do classes. I love that. It's got kind of a wood look. Isn't that nice? So I go back to the same thing. A little brown, a little white, and then I picked up just a touch of that orange, just a tiny hairful, and a lot of white. You get that kind of pinky wood look here. Yeah. So then, now I'm sitting in my sister's house, and I got cancer. So, yeah, I didn't want to move around too much. Trust me, it wasn't a good thing. So I ended up, putting some more weight on, and eating junk food. She complained about it. She didn't really complain to me, but she'd buy me junk food too. She'd bring me I had these favorite donuts I like down the street, this little store down here in the city. Oh my God. They're so good. Every now and then she'd just bring home one for me. Everybody knows what I like, so it's like, that's not a good thing, right? My kids still do it. A daughter got me a ton of Easter candy. I'm trying to lose weight, right? I can't complain because I like all this stuff, but I ended up, these little girls came to the door looking for some money. They were trying to sell me some flowers. I think they were picking out of somebody's garden. Oh my God, so funny. So I paid $5. I bought them, and then I gave them a whole bag full of Easter candy. Oh, they're little buddies. I see them walk around here all the time. So let's put a few more highlights around the edges here. Just fill in some of these little gaps here. Just fill in these little gaps. Around his nose. Still got the bird to do. When I got to darken this to give it a minute to dry. So I think I'm going to do this blue, the bird in like a blue. I'm going to mix those 2 blues so I have like a middle color. I'm going to mix this blue and that blue. And I got this small like detail brush. And I'm going to do his body first. Alright. Follow the shape. Let's do, I know what kind of bird he is, so let's just do some white on the chest here. Just a make-believe bird. Still needs a little bit of blue. Let me put a little more blue into that. There you go. So now I'm all moved in. It's feeling a little more homey than it was. Okay, let's do that darker blue on the bottom. Now he's got feet too, if I remember. I gotta put some feet in here too. It's gotta have a beak. Got a small brush as we're working in a small area. Let's kind of highlight with a little white right around here. Little wing things here. Little feathers. A little bit on his head. I'll take that neutral, that in between purple we did right here, and I'm going to kind of see if I can get it right in here. And then his eye will be right here. Let's take some yellow and that orange and see if I can do his beak right here. There you go. Let's give him a dark blue eye right here. You got yourself a birdie. And I'm going to go around this with some brown and white, that tan color. Cut that in. That's what they call it, cutting in. There you go. It's going to use some little feet, so I'll take that same blue. I'll just do some feet with it. Yep. Pick up that tan, that white and brown again. And I'll go right in here. Make his beard still. Bring it right down in here. Oh, I still haven't announced the winners. I'm going to announce the winners. It's been a while. I don't know who's coming today. So, of course, Lori and Tammy both got prizes for the challenge. Lori for her doing her bunny was so cute. Her busted bunny. And Lori, Tammy for doing her watercolor bunny, which I thought was really good too. Really, there was a lot of them that I could have done. There was a lot of good stuff this month. You guys are really, really chiming in and really participating. It's a lot of fun. And then, on the... Still gotta finish this spot. I'm gonna do the birdhouse. I'm just going to... Where'd I put it? I got the names. Everybody that sent the mail. Nilda, Lori, Kathy, Cindy, and Tammy. So everybody's going to get mail back. But only one's going to get like a grand prize, which I always do. So we got two grand prizes, and then one of these will be a grand prize, and the rest will just be mail. So I'm just going to take the names. I'll show them to you before I pull. It's my little trick when I don't know what to do. Because now I'm going to need some stamps too. I think I have 2 stamps left. And the other ones I do right here at the house. I get the thing, I weigh it, and I make the sticker myself and put it on there. So here's Nelda Santana. And then here's Cat Pazoo. And then Lori Murphy. And then Tammy Beck, or Tams, and Cindy Shepherd. So then I take them like this, mush them up, make them into a ball. I'll put them in my little, take the lighter out of there, little bowl right here, and then not looking. I'm going to pick one. This is one. It's Lori. Lori, you got first prize. So Lori gets another one. 2 Loris, 1 for Tammy, and then Lori's for the ATC, and then 5 or 4 more will get mail too. So you guys will get mail anyways. And I put fun stuff in there. Alright, so now I'm going to darken the center, and I'm just going to go back instead of getting any black, and I'm just going to do blue. Just do that blue. I wet my brush. Yay, guys. Congrats. I think I got everybody's address. It's all kind of regular people this week, or this month. Then, of course, I put the May calendar in there. Or the May, things what we're doing. And then I believe the ATC group, I put just flowers. I added on particular flowers and some Memorial Day stuff in this group because I just didn't realize that it was the same month. So, yeah. Just doing this blue, this dark blue. What blue is this? This is the Twilight. It's a pretty blue. It's got like a violet look to it. Then what you can do to make it look a little deeper, you can come in and take some white and just kind of make like I did with the nose. Like this. Like a little highlight. And they put a little bit on top of this little step here too. And maybe we'll add how about a little perch? Let's say a little perch. A little perch. There you go. We'll add one on the top too, just a tiny one. Put a little highlight on the end. We'll highlight down the side. We darken this corner too. Do one on this rib too. How about a little one here? A little bit. Let's do some brown on that. A little brown. Alright, so now I want to do a little grass on the bottom. So let's use the same, well, let's get a small pointy, either a detail or some kind of small brush. And I'm just going to take those greens and yellows and make them kind of soupy. Make up a little mix of green and yellow together. So it's nice and soupy, long-handled, thin, small brush. And you just kind of come in here and make some different colored greens. So that's needs to be a little lighter. Let's do a yellow. There you go. And some dark greens. Just make some grasses in here. It's fun, right? He's kind of just poking up through the leaves here. So fun, right? Could add some greens and yellows and dark green, light green, whatever you got. Just make it fun. Now I'm going to bring this all the way over, I think. They ain't got to be perfectly straight. They could have a little wobble. I'll make some with a little wobble. Because in nature, they wouldn't really be this even, would they? No. Mostly from the bottom up, it goes on easier, but not always. When you're just doing grass, you can kind of get kind of fun with the grass. Some white in there, too. Could even add a little more flowers, like some small flowers or something would be kind of fun, too, wouldn't it? Yeah, I got some alyssum to plant. I want to get some, what do they call it? Forget-me-nots, but I keep forgetting. I just ordered some seeds from this Rare Seed album. It sounded really different things, so yeah, you could like come back with some white and just do some little, just like this, little sprigs of flower. Could use the end of the brush. This is just for something different, just to kind of fill this in a little bit. You could do yellow and white, whatever colors you want. A dark blue would be good too. Just put little smooshes of, maybe it's baby's breath or something, right? It kind of fills it in nicely. So that's pretty much it for this week. And I will try to have them out by the end of the week, my cards. I'm going to have to make a trip over to the store to get some stamps. Everything, the big stuff I can actually mail out. It'll be the small stuff. Sometimes I will put it in the envelope just as I don't want to go to the store, but that's really too many. So anyways. Ain't he cute? We should give him a name. I don't know. Tulip Tony? How about Tulip? How about Tulip Tony? I like it. Tulip Tony. He came out to play with the birds. All right, guys. So I will see you. Palette knife, not palette knife. Pop-up Tuesday. I am going to do, if I can get to that Dollar Tree, I can get my stamps down there, and I'm going to get, I got a list, but I want to get something to put around it, or at least some kind of ribbon. So we're going to do that on Tuesday, I believe, sometime, I don't know when. So yeah, I fixed the flowers up a little bit. Can you see? But now these look a little too dramatic, but I'm going to leave it alone. I might even dramatize that up a little bit again. But I wanted more light in this window. So in the original picture, which I'm not trying to copy exactly, but there is a lot of light up in that corner where the light comes in. It shines on those flowers in the bottom. And it's not like, even in the painting, it's kind of hazy on the bottom. See that those flowers are hazy? So that's why I did these. But then when I got it wet, this whole part was wet. So I went back and I put it on there again. I kind of messed with it this morning. So I think it looks a little better than it did. The flowers look more like flowers. So I'm going to just leave it like it is. The bottle came out great. I don't know. I like doing bottles. I have this, I told her I took all those Helen Van Wyck classes. And she's a famous portrait artist. But what she likes to do is like pots and bowls and glass and flowers. So, but she's famous for her pots and stuff. So I really enjoyed her classes. I had all her books, and I told her the story how I found all her books. They wanted a fortune for them at the secondhand store. I was like, one was over here, one was over there. There was a huge thing of books, right? And talk about luck, right? So, and the car went through the house. So I did find 3 of the books on Poshmark, the antique thing. I didn't pay a lot for them. I was pretty happy, just the shipping. So I bought 3 of the books that I wanted. One of them actually is one I didn't have. So I got 2 of the ones I like. But she's real famous for doing so. I learned a lot just taking her classes, reading the book and taking the classes online. Now, you couldn't, I got one of them in my membership, one of the classes. For a while there, you couldn't get her classes. She's been dead a long time, like Bob Ross, probably longer. She was a heavy smoker. But I'm not sure what she died of. I want to say she died of something to do with that. But she did all that, famous for her portraits. But she studied with like the masters all over, you know. So she has some videos out now on YouTube, quite a few. I think the son or something happened. Somebody inherited them, didn't do anything with them. But now I notice that somebody's got them. I don't know the name of the company. And a lot of her classes are back out there. It's called In My Studio, I think, is the name of her In My Studio. Her name is Helen Van V-A-N Wyck, W-Y-K. So if you ever get a chance, you want to learn a lot about reflective light and how to use it. And she's really simple. She talks real plain. You know, she doesn't like use big words and, you know, reflecting light and this and that and all these. You know, she don't do none of that. So it's really pretty simple stuff. But she gives a few lessons on like using color and stuff too. So anyways, that's where I learned to like do those pots like that. That was from her. So as I said, every time you guys get an artist, you learn something from her or him. And I call it putting it in your backpack. Even if it's cooking, anything kind of artistic side. Every little bit from every little body, I learned something that I carried along with me. And I definitely got the pots and pans kind of stuff from her. She did a lot of like all that kind of like, you had to go look at Helen Van Wyck. You guys ever like, if you ever get a chance to go watch her, she's pretty good. So they wobble. All right, guys, so have a great night. I will see you Tuesday. And thanks for coming. I hope inspiration follows you wherever you go. And make art, guys. Make lots of great art. I'll see you later. Night, guys. Bye.